Today, as we celebrate the feast day of the conversion of St. Paul, I mean, it's a feast day in the church at the time when he changed, his life was changed. He didn't change it. God changed his life. And hopefully every follower of Christ, every Catholic, every Christian could come to a point in their life where they know when a conversion happened. You know, because I think that we're called to constant conversion, constant change and growth. And most Catholics have this experience for many different reasons where their life changed and they knew it changed. They knew they had encountered something different. And the way you can tell that it's of God is really just as the Gospel Acclamation says, go and bear fruit. It will be the fruit that tells you, because you can't always tell whether this is something of God or not. You can really tell by the fruit that it bears in one's life. And the goal will always be that when someone's encountered God, truly, they usually can't keep it to themselves. They usually have this idea that they want others to share in what they have come to know. And for some reason, we don't always understand that in our faith, because we think of our relationship with God as kind of fulfilling the duties and the obligations. But really, when you take a look at the way it works in the scriptures and the way Jesus worked, is that there's an encounter sometime in one's life with Christ, and it changes everything for them. They went from being more self-centered to more other-centered. That's why there's this message that you got to go out and proclaim to the world, because it's almost like I need others to know what I have come to know. You can't contain it and keep it to yourself. You've never really heard of an experience where someone said, I encountered God, but I never, I don't do anything with it. It doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't change my life. We'd say, well, that's tough, because that's not the way it usually works. Then that's how we can tell. And the understanding to that, during the conversion of St. Paul, as I was thinking about what I was going to say, and I was talking about conversions in our life that change everything for us, that we also know that when we probably encountered people who did the opposite of St. Paul. Today we celebrate how St. Paul was persecuting Christians, and dragging him into prison. And then he had an encounter where it changed his life forever. And we also have some people who were very faithful, very wonderful. I mean, they did a lot for God. And then something changed in their life. And now they're either persecuting the church or they're turned away from the faith. This idea of how we can kind of flip-flop, and really how tenuous and how I forgot the word that I wanted to say. When it's easily broken. It's how fragile. That's the word. How fragile faith is in our conversion. And that our goal is that once we get it, it's our responsibility with this gift to feed it. Because if we don't, there's the world that will take what it is you've gotten, what you've received from the God, and destroy it. And so, because we have many examples, we don't celebrate them on feast days, of people who seem to be so faithful, and then for some reason something changed their life in another direction. And you probably know some people you love who have done that as well. And so we pray for the gift of conversion in our lives and the people we know as a basic part of faith. But once this gift is given, that we have a responsibility and a desire to kind of nurture it and to keep it strong and to keep it faithful and to stay connected, because it's very easily then taken away.